One of the most common questions, should you execute Roth conversions? Well, there's not a lot of case studies out there for people that also have a pension, also have rental income, also have inheritance, or they're doing something else that's bringing in more income, and that changes the analysis in a big way. So today is going to be a case study based off one of your guys' comments. You're going to see me walk through it so you can understand if you should do Roth conversions, if you should not do Roth conversions, and if you should, the timing to make sure you are optimizing. If you don't already know, my name is Taublieb. I'm a certified financial planner. I'm the host of the Early Retirement Podcast, and I'm the vice president at Root Financial Partners. Hey guys, thanks as always for watching the content. I hope it resonates with you. This, please know, is not financial advice. Everything I do on this channel is for informational purposes only. Before you go execute any financial strategy that I'm discussing, please consult with a financial advisor, a tax professional, your legal professional. Please be smart about this. This is not financial advice, just for informational and educational purposes only. Now let's get back to the show. So this comment was left on a live video. When I go live, generally it's on Wednesdays, not every Wednesday, but most Wednesdays. And I'll talk about tax savings and different strategies. And so this was a comment that was left on the live. And this comes from Kirsting13. And Kirsting13 says, thanks for bringing up that couple with the $224,000 of income who's bringing in more than they need. Almost every Roth conversion example from every YouTuber are people with only income from an IRA and a 401k, and almost never for people that also have a base of income. Both my wife and I will have pensions, income, dividend income. It feels like it's so much more difficult for someone in my position to determine the no-brainer conversion bracket than the person with only traditional accounts to rely on. Would love to see a full example. So let me tell you in English what they just said. Okay, so what they just said is, look, right now we are working and we don't hate our jobs. We like what we do, but we're going to want to retire one day. And all these YouTubers are talking about doing Roth conversions, where you move money from your IRA to a Roth IRA, so you're never taxed ever again. And I made up, it's not a real thing, what are called these different types of brackets. I call it an NB, which stands for no-brainer bracket. And what that means is, if I'm working with a client, I'll go, this is your no-brainer bracket, meaning you must at least fill up the 12% bracket or the 22% bracket. Because if you don't, in the future, you're going to be in the 35% bracket. So let's pay at 12% today to avoid paying at 35% in the future. And they're like, okay, I got that. I go, the next bracket is what's called the no-brainer dynamic bracket. I know it's silly. I do these things so my clients actually remember them. The no-brainer bracket that's dynamic is, wait a second, what if markets go up? Should that change how much we convert? What if markets go down? Maybe we should convert even more when markets go down, so when it recovers, it's all tax-free. Whoa. So no-brainer, that's just like beginning of the year, we're going to convert to this amount. Then there's a dynamic bracket, and then eventually there's what's called a tax bomb, your TB. That is like, hey, we want to stay away from this because that's when it does not make sense to pay taxes. Where you'd actually, and I see people do this, they come to me and they're like, Ari, I already did Roth conversions. They say it with a little attitude. I'm like, that's cool, but I wish you did nothing, because now you essentially just did a surgery that we cannot reverse. You have scar tissue, and really we could have started with physical therapy first and seen if surgery was even needed. Now, it probably was needed, but could we have prepped ourselves better before surgery? And so Roth conversions are not things you just want to go execute, because unless you know what you're doing with it, there could be a lot of ramifications. So the point here is, here's someone right now that's going, look, most of the examples are people that have $1 million in their 401k. And when they retire, they think they should move some to a Roth account. But that doesn't really help me, because I already have a pension. So I already have Social Security. I already have inheritance. So I have money coming in no matter what. So my base case that I'm starting at is different from everyone else. Let me show you a better example. So this that you're seeing on my screen here, this is the case that I shared on the recent live event. So when they mention, hey, thanks for showing the 224 example, this is it right here. Here's someone that right now, this is their income. So they're retired, and they have $224,000. I said, guys, how much income do you want in retirement? They're like, we'd love $10,000 a month. I go, that's cool, but you have $120,000 is your desired amount, and $220,000 is what's coming in. And they're like, yeah, you're doing a pretty crappy job, aren't you? I'm like, look, lots of things I'm not good at, but taxes I'm good at. And this is not up to me. And they're like, why? I go, well, you have pensions, so that's coming in no matter what. You have Social Security, you have inheritance, you have rental income, and you're working part-time. So because you're doing all these different things, this is coming in no matter what. And they're like, whoa, so that's too much. I go, it is. And they go, what do we do about it? I go, I want this to increase. And they're like, hey, are you not listening to me? Like, I told you I wanted $10,000 a month. You're telling me $240,000 plus all in is going to be coming in. Why on earth would I possibly need more money? I'm like, because if we don't increase your income now, in the future, you're going to have required minimum distributions, and you'll probably have to have $500,000, maybe $600,000 coming in. And they're like, hey, once again, you're not listening? Like, I don't need $600,000. I go, look, I'm listening, and the government does not care. And they're going to force you to take out more than you will probably ever need. And the worst part is you're going to have to take out more, which gets taxed at your highest bracket. At the same time, you're probably spending less, because when you're in your 70s, you're not probably having the same energy as right now when you're taking the vacations and doing the fancy stuff. So they're like, okay, I got that, but now what do I do? Like, you just told me a problem. And I'm a big preacher of, look, there are problem presenters in this world. Here's an issue. And there are solution solvers. And I'll tell my different advisors, I go, look, you can bring me a problem, but if you don't at least have an idea, I don't need it to be a perfect, but if you don't have an idea as to how we're going to solve this, then come back to me when you do. Because a million people could present up different problems. Hey, your leg hurts. Hey, you have an RMD issue. Hey, that's great. What do I do about it? So not being mean, just this is how I'm transparent with my team. So the point here, at least I hope you don't think I'm mean. And I will joke with people. I'll say, I'm the meanest advisor. I'm not mean. I'm a very transparent guy. You work too hard to not optimize. So that's why I get emotional about this if you see me getting this way. So here's the couple. They're like, Ari, what do you mean? You talked about these no-brainer brackets and this dynamic, and you were making me fall asleep, and my spouse doesn't even know what you're saying, and you think you're so cool. I go, look, right now, you're filling up the 10% bracket because you have a pension. They're like, tell me something I don't know. I go, you're also filling up the 12% bracket because you have Social Security and a pension. And they're like, hey, what is this, just amateur hour? I go, I know, just humor me. Now we're in the 22% bracket, and I want to increase your income. And they're like, I cannot figure out why you'd want me to increase my income. You told me before that my income, it's already too high, 224. I said, it's too high in the sense that you don't need that amount of money. But it's too low in the fact that your taxable income is $193,000. Your no-brainer bracket should be 22%, meaning at a minimum, you should fill up this to get to 201 at a minimum. So you should do a $7,000 conversion, because if not, in the future, this is only going to increase, meaning the tax brackets will change. So the 22 eventually will say 25. So could we pay at 22% to avoid paying at 25%? That's pretty cool. But also, when your income grows, what's happening with this couple is they have a pension, Social Security, rental income. Their money is growing faster than they can spend it. So what's going to happen is their interest and dividends are going to continue growing. So for example, next year, they will probably be in the 24% bracket, and then not too far away, they're probably going to be in the 32% bracket, and that's their tax bomb. So for this couple, I go, hey guys, this 22, that's your no-brainer. We got to fill that up. 24 is your dynamic, and 32, that's your tax bomb, where if possible, can we avoid, and people are like, look, I get that you're excited about this stuff, but like, why would I do this? And I'll tell my couple, I go, look, the reason you might want to do this is because if we're looking at tax planning, which is the big difference why people work with us, and we're going through all these different strategies, it can add a lot more money. So I'm not just doing this for the sake of it. It's, look, if we're smart with tax strategy and we take advantage of this window, the green here, before RMDs and income shoots way up, it can add a lot more money. Now, not every case is $900,000. Sometimes it's $200,000. Sometimes it's $300,000. Sometimes it's, you name it, but it depends what brackets we fill up and all these different factors. So sometimes I'll tell a couple, you should really consider a conversion. It's not going to make or break your retirement, but it's going to add a lot of value like this. Sometimes I'll tell someone, oh, you don't have heirs, and you told me that right now you're not worried about charitable giving and yada, yada. Go, look, you could do it, but you know what I'd rather have you do? Instead of a $20,000 bonus to your tax strategy when you're 93, I'd rather you go buy that new car you've been telling about. you've been telling me about because it's not safe to drive in. Like that is more important. So yes, taxes are the forefront of what we do. That makes us different financial planners, is everything is around tax planning. And the reason for that is most firms are simply giving investment guidance. It's not going deep into the tax side. And to me, that's what most people are overlooking. So if I go back here and I'm going to show you guys this, inside of tax planning, what it really should look like, if you're wondering, hey, this is interesting, like what I just watched on conversions and all this stuff, how should I talk to my advisor about this? Well, you can see here, you should be asking them about conversions, about harvesting, about charitable giving, about healthcare planning, about real estate, about inheritance, about charitable, about, yada, yada. Everything. Tax planning is what I find most people are overlooking. So for this strategy, want to make sure that wherever you're at, most of you guys, 50, 55, 60, some of you earlier than that, going, look, I want to retire early. I don't exactly know when, but I know there's going to be a big tax burden. Or like this couple, I know I have a pension. So this couple, if their neighbor is going to say, hey, you should really fill up the 10% bracket. If you're this couple, you'd be like, look, I'm filling that up whether I want to or not. So going back to the example here, this is a couple that's like, look, we have pension and income and dividend income. So like it's so much more difficult for someone to determine conversions that we should do. And all you have to do is look at the analysis, use the software. And I've mentioned this before. This you can use even if you have an advisor or you're doing your own planning on your own. You guys can go see right now. I give this option available. Now, there's no one-on-one guidance, but if you want to go run your own software and determine, hey, what are we on track for, conversions and all this fancy stuff, be my guest. Like that's what it's there for. And if you're a client, we do all this for you, but this is important. If you want to go play around with all of this, it is a powerful tool to look at tax strategies and understand, oh, if I withdraw from this account and pay less taxes from over here, but what if we fill up, this tax bracket and I refresh the analysis, what does it say? Well, oh my God, I shouldn't do conversions. Look at this, I'll have even less money. And then what if all of a sudden we go, well, what if the sweet spot's over here at this bracket? And whoa, way more money. So these little tweaks make huge differences. So don't please go start executing Roth conversions just because a neighbor or a friend told you to do it. It cannot be a cookie cutter thing. Many of you guys have seen this, but I'll show it to you. Second favorite gift I've ever received. This is my, let's see if the camera will zoom in, anti-cookie cutter jar. Love the pod. So this is someone that's like, look, I love that you don't ask me my risk tolerance, because if you're a 1 today and a 10 tomorrow, that doesn't help you retire. It has to go a lot deeper in terms of analysis. So guys, you can't already tell, I love doing this stuff. If you want to work with our team, this is what we do. If you're like, this is great, but maybe I just start with the software first and see if I need you guys on an ongoing basis, if that'd be helpful. Maybe this is good for a starting point and see what you look for, but I just want you guys to get helped wherever you are in your stage. 5 years out, 1 year out, 30 years out, I try to do something for all you guys. So if this is helpful, please do me a huge favor, like this video and share it with someone you want to retire early with. That's it for today.